So, so wetlands, they serve as important centers of biogeochemical activity, and their processes are known to have pretty far-reaching implications for things like water quality, nutrient cycling and recycling, greenhouse gas mitigation, because they function as both carbon sinks, and the chemical processes in these wetlands can also suppress methane gas emissions. So the alpine and subalpine wetlands located in the Niwot Ridge Long-Term Ecological Research Program, as part of a mountain ecosystem, are particularly vulnerable to the effects of climate change. So there's a lot to be learned about what role these biogeochemical processes play in the context of this specific ecosystem. And as the effects of climate change progress, continuous monitoring and characterization of these microbial processes is needed. So a central aspect of biogeochemistry is the sulfur cycle, which locally and globally affects soil, water, and air quality. So sulfate reduction, as part of this cycle, has an effect on a multitude of other nutrient cycles, because the sulfide produced as a product of sulfate reduction is very reactive and reacts with many other different chemicals, from anything from metals to gases to other oxidizers. So it's not really well understood how these processes are spatially distributed in these soils. And also, as Aubrey mentioned, because these soils are understudied, we aren't even 100% sure that sulfate reduction is occurring. We're assuming that it is because there's sulfate present. So it's likely that sulfate reduction is occurring in these soils, but it isn't clear exactly how or where. So I'm using a technique that has been utilized in a few different soil types, and my project aims to construct a best practice method utilizing photo film embedded with silver halide to map areas where sulfate reduction is occurring. So my goal is to adapt and modify the technique as needed to suit this terrain and the facilities that we have available at CU Boulder, because this could be a useful and quick tool to verify that sulfate reduction is occurring.